Off with 10 flights of hurdles in front of them, and the first to lead is Boss Doyle as they come quickly to the first, with Dante showing pace up on the outside. They're at the first now, and we lost one at the first, and that was adjustment of 4 at the first. So they race away towards flight number 2, and it's Dante now that comes up to share the pace with a wide on the course, difficult times. These are sitting 1 and 2. At this stage, Soldat is the back marker. Also showing prominently is Ladderhab, and they've jumped 2 now. And it's Dante and difficult times and ladder half 1, 2 and 3, followed through by Daraydan in a prominent position, and then Boss Doyle the inside. These are attended by Hand Woven, who's in a good position, and also Nasoni racing prominently too, as they make this long run down towards flight number 2. Richard Dunwood is on his feet, and they head down towards flight number 3 then, and it's Ladderhab on the outside taking up the running in the red cap. Ladderhab leading 2 in second place, difficult time. Sitting third is Dante. Boss Royal sitting in 4, Daraydan the rails in 5. Then in a prominent position the Sony midfield, with Mighty Moss not that far away. Very similar colours indeed. On the extreme left is Hand Woven. At this stage Istabraq is towards the back and jumping in last place. And Richard Dunwoody is on his feet and walking away after that nasty fall in the first. Come down towards flight number 4 then, and the field being taken along by Ladderhab, clear by about a length to, in second place, difficult times. Dante very wide on the course. Boss Doyle through on the inside races Nasoni and Daraydan, with Harbour Island trying to creep through on the inside. Istabraq is still at the back in Soldat, with Soldat, and also nearer last and first is Prussia, one of the rank outsiders. This is flight number 4, and it'll be the last next time round, and it's Ladderhab who leads to Mighty Moss the inside and Daraydan, then Nasoni, followed by difficult times. Wide on the course is Dante, and then Boss Doyle. Through on the inside marching Marquis, who's travelling well. Then we have Harbour Island, followed by Forest Ivory, who sits midfield in front of the French runner Royal Tino. But at this stage, still plumb last is the red-hot favourite Istabraq, and a lot of ground to make up. He's giving the leaders at this stage 20-length start as they swing left-handed and race away down the hill towards flight number 5.
Istabraq settled pretty well though as they race down the back, and Mighty Moss just about has the lead from Ladderhab towards the outside. There's little to choose between them, and they're just kicking away from the others a little bit now, stepping on the gas down the hill towards the next flight number 5. Mighty Moss and Ladderhab, and a very bad mistake on the inside by Harbour Island there as they head towards the middle one down the back, flight number 6, and up front it's Mighty Moss the inside of Ladderhab. Nasoni goes third the outside of Daraydan, then her Dante, and Forest Ivory is not too far off them either. Neither is Boss Doyle towards the outside. Harbour Island trying to get up the inside now, and then Royal Tino is making headway, and Istabraq has passed 4 or 5 as they jump another down the back, at which Mighty Moss landed in front, but Royal Tino has taken off down the outside. The yellow jacket, pale blue hoop, Adam Condrat has come right on the scene, the Frenchman, as they climb on the far side. It's Mighty Moss joined by Royal Tino. Between horses is Nasoni. Daraydan is next, and then Ladderhab struggling to hold on to his position. Boss Doyle and Forest Ivory as they take the next, and Istabraq is now moving up on the wide outside in about 6th or 7th place. Green and yellow hoops on the heels of the leading bunch has made good headway. Top of the hill, Mighty Moss from Nasoni, then Daraydan, Royal Tino the outside. That's the leading 4.
So Mighty Moss just has the edge as they begin the descent then towards the third last in this Royal Sunalliance. It's Mighty Moss and the Sony 1 and 2, with the nose band out wide, the darker blue. That's the gamble of the race. Daraydan, the yellow colours. Behind this comes Royal Tino with a bit of a run is Forest Ivory for the informed Nicholson stable, and then behind that comes the Proms, and also making good ground still is the red-hot favourite Istabraq, the white cap. It's going to be a classy performance this by Istabraq if he wins, but it's Daraydan who just takes it up with on the inside of the Mighty Moss and Daraydan 1 and 2. Here comes Istabraq full of running. This is 2 out. Oh, he was bumped there, Istabraq, but it's a battler. It's coming through on the inside of Forest Ivory. So they've just got one more flight of hurdles to jump, and it's Istabraq coming through to take Mighty Moss and Daraydan, and here on the outside Forest Ivory, but the cheers are up for the Irish horse, and that's Istabraq, but it's going to be a battle on his hands if he's to win. This is the last. It's Istabraq who lights the field now, and it's Istabraq going on to Mighty Moss, the far side. Daraydan is putting in another renewed challenge, but it's the red-hot favourite Istabraq battling up the field, but coming back at him is Mighty Moss and also Daraydan. It's going to be very close, but Istabraq is going to take it at the line. Istabraq wins for Ireland. Charlie Swan knows it. Mighty Moss is second, Daraydan third. But in fourth came Forest Ivory, a big gap there to Soldat, who came home in front of Harbour Island for the Martin Pipe team. And then behind these, we have one of the strugglers early on, but finishing well, Marching Marcus, and then Difficult Times. And the field trailed back to Nasoni Herdanti, and also the last to pass the post was Latterharb. And so the result then of this, the Royal Sunalliance Novices Hurdle, Istabraq, the 6-5 favourite, has done it the hard way in the colours of Mr. J.P. McManus. J.P. McManus, trained by Aidan O'Brien, his second triumph of the champion at the festival meeting. Ridden by Charlie Swan, for whom this is the 11th winner at the festival meeting. Istabraq came from last to first and then showed great resolution, great battling qualities to come up the hill to win. Second horse home is number 13. That's the Mighty Moss in the colours of Mr. Ken Hutsby, owned by him, trained by David Nicholson, whose horses are in firing form and ridden by son Fred Hutsby. And the third horse home is Daraydan and Richard Hughes for the Pipe team. But there's our winner. A victory for Ireland, and just hear the cheers as he comes back.
Well, that was a wonderful ride by Charlie Swan. Let this horse find his feet, dropped him right out to make sure that he got him settled. Made his ground up going downhill, had a good position at the top of the hill. And you can see just how pleased he is. He really delivered the goods, Charlie Swan. And good effort from the horse as well.
Tremendous applause all the way around me for Istabraq. Returned the 6-5 favourite. It did touch 6-4 on the course. A colossal Irish gamble, and it developed very late. Some bookmakers at the off were going 11-10 in even money. Returned 6-5 Istabraq. Mighty Moss is second at 11-1. Daraydan, good each way support for this. A 16-1 chance of his third. And that Istabraq is the 9th favourite in 27 runnings to win it, and the 4th in the 90s after Denoli, Crystal Spirit and Regal Ambition, 10 plus in 86, Drumlargan 17 years ago, and the odds on Mr. Kildare in 78. J.P. McManus wins it for the second time. He had Mr. Donovan 50.
And the 6th goal, number 7, Harbour Island.
Jesus.